So, how did I decide what course to study at university and how did I decide where to go? So leading up to making university decisions, I always thought I was going to study law. My first set of work experience at Project Trident was in a law firm and it just seemed a sensible direction to go in. My A-levels were English, History and Media, which again lent themselves very well to law. But at the end of year 12, I got a job at Kids Club and that opened my eyes to the possibility of teaching. So I then started looking at straight teacher training degrees, which are normally 4 years. But there was also the possibility of doing an undergraduate degree and a PGCE, which equated to the same amount of time. So this just seemed to be the obvious direction to go in. Yes, the PGCE would be, which is your teacher training, would be very intense because it's 3 years crammed into one, but it just meant it gave me a little bit more time to confirm this was what I wanted to do and left the opportunity of doing primary and secondary open because you could do PGCEs in both of those areas, whereas the initial teacher training is just primary. So I did a 3-year course of English literature at Exeter, which was absolutely fantastic. And then immediately afterwards, I went on and did a 1-year PGCE at the University of Cambridge. I absolutely loved both universities. I think Exeter is an absolutely fabulous university if you're from Jersey. You've got convenient daily flights, it's a beautiful city, it's still got all the amenities you'd want, it's got a nightlife, it's got restaurants, it's got all the shops you can want. You've got the benefit of campus university while still being in a city. And I think it's a perfect stepping stone moving from Jersey to UK. And I think especially in the circumstances we are, it's important to be somewhere which is easy to get home. Then I moved on straight away. The next year I went to the University of Cambridge and that was an absolutely magical place to study. I had a very different experience there to what most students probably would because of the nature of the PGCE. It's pretty much you're working full-time for a year. The reason I chose to do a PGCE rather than, there's lots of other ways you could do teacher training. There's Schools Direct where you're employed or work full-time in a school, but I thought PGCE was the best route because it just gave me exposure to lots of different schools and different people. So we were actually a cohort of over 100 students. We're in a class of year 24, so you had people to share the experience with. And I definitely think that was my favourite year at university. It was something I was really passionate about and it was fantastic to kind of engage with people from a similar background and who had the similar passion and interest in teaching.